Okay, I think this has been a long-awaited video for some of you guys, but today I'm going to add a pretty useless red dot laser for fun to my GweikeCloud here. Um, I say it's useless because the camera kind of takes care of everything that you may need, but sometimes, I don't know, people like to frame, or sometimes like me, when you're going to clean the camera, it actually knocked it off of alignment. So I haven't actually realigned my camera yet. It was a pain in the butt the first time, so a laser accessory like this really helps during those times, I guess, especially when you're in mid-project and you just have to get it done, I guess. So this is a sort of a hackerish way of doing things because there's limited space here, and I had to find what was already out there to try to adapt to this this setup here. So the main important thing was finding the mount, so I didn't have to 3D design, 3D print and design one. So this one I got off of AliExpress. I'll link it in the link below. This is I believe it's a 20mm hole that kind of fits the lens assembly here pretty well. So what I'm gonna do is basically, attach the laser here. Sorry, you can't see in the video. There's a little screw that holds the laser tight so it doesn't fall out. And we're gonna kind of just drop it over the lens assembly here, like so. And then we're gonna tighten it down. You guys can see it in the video here. We're gonna tighten it down so that it kind of points this way. Now the drawback to this is that, well, I don't know if there's a drawback actually. It might hit stuff on the side as it's going across, so you'll have to test for that. I don't think mine does. Looks like mine clears every gantry or every little piece of metal inside the inside this workspace wherever the laser can move. Yeah, I'll need a lot of testing, so I'm probably gonna just kind of tape this thing down with a little bit of 3M double stick tape so it doesn't move around in case the screw gets loose. But that also means cleaning this would be just a little bit harder because, well, maybe it won't be. I don't know. I'll have to take this entire assembly out to clean it. Unscrew the laser so that it doesn't come out with it, because what I'm going to do here is, so right now it's a DC powered or it's a DC barrel on this end. I'm going to cut this, and then this end I bought a DC barrel USB port here, or USB plug here. So I'm going to cut this and solder those two ends together so that it's kind of one unit and I don't need this thick thing here. Why am I doing that? Because I'm going to run this through this drag chain, following the air assist pipe down through this drag chain and kind of just out the back of this hole. Yeah, I'm going to just kind of jam it in there. If there's a hole. Yes, there's a hole back there. So I'm going to just kind of run it through this, run it through here, just kind of follow that air assist path, and then run it through the back of the machine. I could drill a hole through the back of the metal plate if I really want to do and make this really clean, but I don't know if this is worth it. So, especially if in the future I don't need it anymore or I don't want it, I could just kind of rip it out easily. So I'm going to stop the video here as I cut this cable. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to run it through here, through the drag chain again, through this tunnel here, into this drag chain, out the back. And this thing will be plugged into a USB hub, which I don't have yet in my computer, which kind of ties the camera cable, the laser here, and then the machine USB cable together. So I only need to plug in that that USB hub once, and then everything's kind of on and connected. So yeah, I've tested this laser here. In fact, I could test it again and show you guys. The only drawback here is that it's, I don't know if you can see it, but the dot is not really a dot, it's a line. It's like a little line. You see it? Like a little line here. Here. It's not really a dot, it's like a little line, which is annoying because when you're framing things, you want a really solid, really pinpoint line or dot. So I don't know, use the laser itself to cut a little bit of a, I guess, a little covering here to turn that light into a dot. But that's a future project. I'm not worried about that now. All right, so I'm going to stop the video here and try to mount this, or cut the wire and mount this thing. Okay, so that didn't actually work out too well, because as I was, well, I cut the tips off here. I cut the tip off the USB side. I could probably toss these, or I could save it for a future project. This thing was way too thick to feed into the drag chain here with the air assist pipe and the tube that has all the electronic wires in it too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably strip this down to about right here or so. So cut this all off. I'll strip this back a little bit, that way I can solder it into a much thinner cable that doesn't take up as much room, and hopefully that will allow me just kind of easier, an easier way to just kind of string this through the drag chain. So we'll see how that works. All right. Okay, as you can see, I've strung it through the drag chain. I guess this one went through pretty smoothly. This one will go through the other drag chain that's in here and out the back of the machine. So yeah, sorry guys, this video is going to be a little choppy as I get to work here. Okay, progress update. So everything's strung in. I routed it through this drag chain on the side, kind of just snaked it through, ran it up this little pole. To remove this pole thing, it's kind of two halves, so you just kind of slide the first half out. I took a pair of pliers like this one, and I just kind of clipped it on top, and then just pulled, well, not doing it right now, but just kind of pull up on it and it slides off the rails. Then you can put the wire next to it, and then you could put this wire next to the laser wire bundled with these wires, and then kind of slide that top part back in. And I have it running out through my little gasket here. This doesn't come with this machine. This was part of my first videos trying to seal the machine from exhaust. Out the back here, I kind of duct taped it just the back. I don't know, I can't get there. You can kind of see duct tape here. I duct tape over the top of it just in case the lid chafes as it opens and closes, multiple times. There's probably some better exit. I could probably exit out the pass-through hole in the bottom, but I just didn't want to do it. So the easiest way is just to go out there, at least from what I see. I could drill a hole. I could find some little hole through here maybe. I could, there's multiple ways maybe. I could go out, snake it back through here and then kind of go out the bottom of the machine where the engraving hole, or the rotary hole is. I could do that. I could come through this way and go through that Wi-Fi antenna area. I don't know, come through the back. I could also, take out the power port. I can't really see, but the power port back there from the air filter box, since I'm not using it, and go out that hole. I think there's different ways of doing it. Maybe you can probably also cut a hole in your duct, run it out, and then kind of reseal it back up if you wanted to. But this is just how I did it through here. So right now I'm going to, so I have these wires stripped open. Sorry. Anyways, I have these the wires stripped, and I will solder them together right now and some heat shrink tube on it to protect it. And I'm hoping I can just push this back in so only the black wire comes out of the laser head. That is my hope. We'll see what happens. Alright, sorry this video is really choppy as I get to work. Okay, before I tidy everything up and tuck all my wires back in, I have everything heat wrap or shrink wrapped. All my connections shrink wrapped. The laser module is on. It's a little loose right now. Soldered my USB cable on, so now is the moment of truth. We're gonna plug in the USB cable to my outlet up here just to test, and we have power. Look at that, nice. Let's put a piece of material on there so you guys can see the laser in action. Here's my go. So now we have to, there's no way to align this other than to just kind of manually do it. Next thing I'm gonna do is put a filter on the front of this so that it makes that, can't really see it on the photo here. Maybe I could dim my camera a little bit. You can see that the laser beam is actually a little line instead of a dot. So I'm gonna focus that down to a little dot, like a little pinpoint, by putting a little filter on the front that I'm gonna cut out for it. Yeah, so the next thing to do is to tuck all my wires in, go cut that little filter thing, and then yeah, and then somehow align this. There's no way I can align it in terms of super accurately, so everything's gonna have to be by eye. All right, we'll be back. Okay, I cut out a piece of vinyl, poked a little hole in it, and now when I plug it in, the laser line is no longer a line, but a little dot. I think the dot could be smaller, but when we plug it in, it could be smaller, but oh well. At least it, you can't really see in the picture, but it is a dot. Just trust me, it's a dot. Before it was a little line. Okay, mostly done with this project now. I'm gonna tidy things up and I guess give you guys my final thoughts and conclusions. Oh yeah, one of the things, it's pretty much aligned. Well, I mean, I could align it this way. We'll do it later, but somehow the metal is bent, so it's not fully aligned on this side. I don't know if you can see it. To the laser head, it's a little bit skewed to the left in this image, and so I'm probably gonna give this metal here a bend, probably in this direction. So I'll twist it this way so that the light can come over here a little more. But right now it's just pressure set to this. I think if I want this tighter, I could sand this down, shave this part so it's thinner, and so these two forks can come in a little bit more and squeeze the lens a little bit more. That way it's not as easy to pop it off. But yeah, so that's it to the laser red dot sight mod for this video. One thing you guys have to watch out for is, depending on the laser you get, you don't want anything to contact. Mine doesn't contact anything on the sides at the extreme edges. So it runs pretty clean all around. I don't have to worry about this side really. Yeah, so my thoughts on this, kind of a useless mod because again, you have the camera doing most of the job, but for some people, maybe they don't like the camera, or the camera is not as accurate, or they just want something where they don't have to click a button to get a new camera image. I don't know what it is. This might be useful. For me, it's kind of useful right now because as I was wiping my camera, this thing got misaligned for some reason. I haven't had a chance to actually set it back up again. So this red dot sight, once I kind of calibrate it and get it dialed in, will be relatively useful in my sense, or in my use case, until I can get my camera realigned. And after that, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Maybe I'll just leave it on just for fun. What else can I say? Yeah, so I'll have to put my cover back on. I hope this thing doesn't chafe as too much. I'll probably run this cable with my camera cable. Again, so you newer laser users, or you newer GweikeCloud users, those with the built-in air assist, I think your camera cable is attached via USB to the back on that side. I don't remember. Actually, I don't know where I'm getting with that, because you still need a USB cable coming to your computer, I guess, if that's how I think it works. So basically I'm going to USB cable my camera, USB cable the laser, USB cable the red dot sight, all into one little hub or something like this. This one's a piece of junk. I can get a new one, into my computer. That way, once I plug in that hub, laser's connected, red dot's connected, camera's connected, and everything's ready to go. What else? Yeah, just make sure when you guys are doing this, the cables move around just a little bit. Make sure nothing gets snagged. I'll probably pull this out a little bit more. Yeah, make sure nothing gets snagged and everything is tidy. There you go. So I'll have a link down below if I can find a link to this laser setup here that I got. Again, it's sort of a rare one because you need that 20mm, I think it's 20mm hole. Most of them are designed for the larger lasers that are, I don't know, 25 or 26 or something like that. That are much larger. I guess you could use those if you have adapter rings that could adapt it down if you want to mount it here. You could also mount it underneath and use the screw that screws in the focus lens to hold it together, but then this air assist, the screw here for the air assist pipe won't be able to screw in because the head of this screw is pretty big and it'll contact the now lower screw thing for the focus lens if you mount this below. But then again, in the future, when I redesign this focus lens, if I get a chance, I will incorporate a section to tie this in underneath and maybe a little bit closer too. So we'll see what happens. I mentioned in another video that I wanted to get a 6mm outer diameter, 4mm inner diameter tube, which is this, all the way in, because right now this little knob nut here is a restriction in terms of air. Hopefully by the time I release this video, I'll have talked about my 2mm cutting head here, which is not doing too much right now, because I think it's because of other factors. But anyways, so this is the red dot sight mod. It's kind of scrappy, kind of just kind of DIY. And I hope that, you know, those who want to do it will do it. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any questions or any better solutions for this. That's all. Until the next time.